What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Duskers. My name is Splattercat, and I have an explanation for you of what happened in the previous episode. So I banged my head against this for about 15 minutes, just trying to really figure out what occurred in the last episode, because we got flooded by radiation, right? Well, apparently, I actually talked to the developer too, not personally. He was on the forums and he was talking about it. But the developer said on the forums that you have to look at the hull integrity of the ship you're on, because that creates a base chance that a random room will be flooded with radiation and then it can spread from there. We just got unlucky. It was all RNG that the radiation decided to spawn inside the room that we were already in. He said on the forums that, like, seemingly radiation is one of the few ways you can die in this game that's really not your fault. It can just, like, happen randomly, and then if you don't have things in place in order to deal with it, you're just gonna die horribly. We managed to evac in time, so we made it, which was pretty cool. But that's by no means a guarantee, and so essentially from now on, we have to make sure that we check the integrity of the hull before we go on board, and we need to be playing as though radiation could flood us at any moment, if it's not at high integrity or whatever. So let's go ahead and jump on over to here. It says we have no propulsion fuel, but I'm still a little bit iffy about what this +3 means right here. This little +3, I think that's how much we might regenerate or something like that. I'm not really too positive. It says that I can travel over to here, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's go. And so that put us at, yeah, it looks like we've actually, maybe that's just external fuel or something. I don't know. I bought fuel from here. So maybe that, I bought 3 fuel, in fact, exactly. So maybe that was just the extra, maybe it's temporary fuel is what I'm guessing, because this right here refuels every single time. Essentially, whenever you go into the warp, it recharges your propulsion drive. And so I'm assuming this is temporary fuel that you can use only inside of the system you're currently in, and then once you leave, it's gone. That's my best guess, but, you know, don't quote me on it. There's no wiki or anything for the game yet, and this is pre-release. So technically, there's not a whole lot of ways to cross-reference and check what mechanics I want to learn, even though I am trying. We got another salvage ship over here that's 214 years old. My God. We also, if a ship is yellow, it means we can't reboard it. It means we've already finished there. So unfortunately, well, if it's yellow, it means... yeah, pretty sure that's what it means. But anyways, let's go. The Aristotle, I like that a lot. I should probably heal some of my drones, right? Oh my God, they took so much damage. Okay, well, let's give them a little bit of loving. We'll execute. I'm just going to get him up to like 100. With Tweaky specifically, I mean, he's going to be the most important one that we need to get healed up, because he's going to be our combat drone. And so if he's not healed up, it's going to be real bad if we lose our gun drone this early. Anyways, I mean, technically you can die in this game within like 10 minutes of starting. And so frankly, I had always planned to do multiple playthroughs in case I played poorly. It's starting to look like I'm going to play poorly, so there you go. Hull integrity is medium on this one, so once again, we'll have to be careful about the radiation. I think what I'll do for now is let's deploy. Alright, internet log accepted. Loading report. Following the agreed security contract with H5 Secure, all current security sector workers on US and UK-based ships are required to reapply for their posts. New staff, who are current employees of H5 Secure, are to be deployed as a foundational force starting in February. The current policing duties outside of Earth's orbit are conducted by H5 Secure. Okay, so it appears as though some kind of like globo-national, I mean, would you call it a planetary national? I don't even know what an interplanetary corporation controls security or something now for the world. I'm not really sure. It's sort of hinting at things, and I'm not sure what to extrapolate from that without overstepping myself. Let's go ahead. We're going to open up A1 as always. Let's turn on the shield. We'll go Gatlinga. No, not Gatlinga. The Gatling gun is actually pretty badass too. Unfortunately, only a female can wield it. It actually, I don't know how it does that. It looks and it's like, I sense the power of ovaries, and it powers itself up somehow. I'm not really too sure. I'm not an engineer. You'll have to ask one of them. Let's just hang out for a minute. And I'm really hoping, since this is a medium map, that we don't get flooded with radiation. That would totally suck. I'm going to assume that we're sort of safe right now, but I'm going to get Gatling rated up, so all I have to do is hit the enter key if I wanted to save us here. Okay, so we got a couple rooms, and we got a turret, which is nice. That might allow us a little bit of creative freedom when getting rid of some of our foes. I'm going to set him up right there. Let's bring Tommy Bahama out. Feeling hot, hot, hot with my mouse cursor all over the screen, because that's just the sort of terrible YouTuber that I am. I'm going to go back to Tweaky. Give me a scan. Lovely. Got a power inlet and an access terminal. I would strongly suggest that we get these doors. Actually, I don't even need to do that. What I can do is I can go remote and then I can go R3, and our ship will actually power that little nodule right there so that we don't have to worry about it. Now what I can do is that leaves Cliff free to power something else later on. If you'll recall, in one of the previous episodes, we picked up a thing called a remote power module. That's what it allows you to do. It allows your ship to remotely power one of these little inlets. So I'm just going to park these cats over here. I'm going to strongly recommend that once I bring people aboard, we close every single door that we can to protect against radiation leaks. And let's have a look right here at this console. She might not be close enough. There we go. And so I should be able to turn on defensive turrets. Yep, there's one right there. Let me get a ship scan. And it looks like we've got 2 rooms all nice and checked out. I don't see anything else that we need to worry about, though. Let's go ahead. Well, we have to worry about radiation, and so we have a couple of options here. I could open all the doors that lead to the room with the turret and hope that the turret wipes everything out. That is an option. It's the thing that we could accomplish. The downside here is that because I don't have visual confirmation on any of the rooms, it means that there's a distinct chance that I would be letting radiation just float around and, you know, clog up the entire ship, and that is not a good thing. That would be a very, very bad thing for us. So, is there a... Oh, we can survey the ship. Yeah, survey the ship. There we go. That looks nice. Okay. So we've actually got the layout of the entire ship right now. That's good. Since we're covered from D4, I'm going to take Tweaky. Let's get the Gatling all nice and powered up. Let's go D5, and we're just going to wait this one out. Okay, and Tweaky took care of whatever that is right there. I don't know, it rushed at him. It's some weird polygonal shape, and it's trying to murder us. I knew geometry was after my life. I knew it. Let's go ahead and scan the room. No, not scab the room. There's nothing that needs to be healed. We have an access terminal over here. Door D5 is blocked. Is it not dead? Can I tow that body out of the way? Hold on. Give me a Gatling check right here, just in case. And then can I tow that body out of the doorway? I would very much prefer to do that if I can. If we can make this happen, that'd be super rad. Oh, there's nothing to tow within range. Okay, so that door is stuck. That's really, really bad because that actually removes a little bit of our safety. So what I'd like to do is let's take everybody who is like a supplementary unit. So for right now, that's like everybody. To R1. We are going to have them chill inside of there, just in case. I'm limiting my losses right now. That means that the only thing we could possibly lose is Tweaky. And while that would be a major loss, that would be a stinging loss, a biting loss, a loss which lacerates and makes me so very, very sad. At least it would be, you know, better than losing everybody. Because I just can't lose you now. I've been thinking about buying a Hubsand drone recently. I really, really want one. Just a little like... I think they're called 4-props. I'm not really sure what they're called. Either way, I want one. I really, really want one. And they're only like 30 bucks. So I figure if I break it, I won't be that upset about it. I mean, it's still a lot of money, but... I was thinking about that the other night, how like your perspective on money changes, like based on whether you're employed or not. Like when you're unemployed and you have like no cash resource, like $10 seems like a huge amount to lose. Once you have a job, $10, I'm like, okay. Errors detected on the scanner on drone 4. Well, that's not good. But we did find some scrap in here, which is important for our long-term survival. Let's go ahead and limit our chances of radiation leaking in. And what I'd like to do is we're going to navigate 1. Interesting. We have some serious problems. Something in here is breaking our sensors. I'm not sure what, but not something that I can fix from here. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to keep Gatling all nice and queued up. Step on into the room and just kind of like see what we can find here. We've got another docking point on this side. And so I think let's close down D9 and then A1. And I'm going to dock at A3 now that I know that it's safe. That'll bring us around to this side. I'm going to open up D13 and D6. And I'm just going to hope that radiation doesn't happen. I mean, technically, the only thing that's going wrong here is if radiation does happen, it'll only flood this room. And so it's not that big of a problem, but it could still be a problem, I guess. Yep. Could be a problem, but I'm not going to concern myself with it for right now. It actually, I mean, there's some things that are stationary. So some mobs actually just hide in corners, and when you walk around a corner, they grab your drone and insta-kill it. And so there's like different types of monsters in this game, and we have not seen all of them. So I'm just letting you know that if I'm being overly paranoid about phenomena that haven't happened yet, it's because I've seen them in other playthroughs. I'm going to have you gather all real fast, so at least we get something out of this if we end up getting whacked. Okay, so the motion scanner is posting errors. R10's results are inconclusive. We don't have a power junction over here, and I didn't check that other console either. So I might be able to. Let's go ahead and take Haley, and I'm going to take her back over to the other console that's over on the right. And I'm going to let her have a little conversation, share tea, share a brew, and perhaps gather a little bit more information about this craft. Make sure you're nice and close, because if you aren't, sometimes it's weird like that. So we found 5 more rooms. That doesn't matter. We'll ship scan. It looks like we're more or less limited to what we had already. Although we would be able to... We can fiddle with the guns from here if we wanted to. So let's close down D6 and D13 since I don't think things are moving around. It seems like we've got kind of a useless gun right there. So I'm going to deactivate it so that I don't stumble into my own defenses like an idiot. And we need another power junction. Either that or we need somebody with a pry. Do I have pry? Ooh, that's not good. I guess I could relocate, actually. I could relocate. So I could load everybody. I guess we could try D16, though. Let's go ahead and try D16 first, since it's our next access point. And if we could scan that, we might be able to find ourselves a conduit in here. Let's get the Gatling up and running. The shield is still on, correct? Okay, so the shield is still good. D16, let's do this thing. Looks like we found the treasure room. I see lots and lots of scrap in there. Although we knew that to begin with, didn't we? I feel so paranoid when I do this, like for real, I don't like this at all. So we got a vent right there. Those vents are problematic because monsters can spawn out of them and just like pop out at any moment. They use them just like the Nids do in Space Hulk. They use them to crawl around quite a bit and get into places where they're not supposed to be. So the safest thing to do for right now would be to kind of just like line that up real fast. Although this is a single corridor, which means that doing so is going to limit my mobility. I'm going to have him scan real fast for anything that we might have missed. I'm going to use D15 to allow Haley access to this terminal over here. I don't think it's really going to be that helpful, but we could take a look. Interface is not powered. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Let's creep her back this way. In the interest of keeping ourselves not irradiated. I'm going to try anyways to close off as many of these doors as I can. Actually, I can't do that until okay. So what I need now is I need to navigate. Let's go D9 real fast. I need to navigate 1 to... What's the name of that room? I'm going to assume it's R4. Let's see, we got R3, R4, maybe that's R5, R6. What room is this? I can't tell. I'm going to have to do it manually. Haley's sitting. I am the worst drone pilot ever. Haley, I need you to move. Just chill for a second. There we go. Haley's out of the way. We close the door behind him just in case there's a radiation leak. Let's also close D16, and then we'll go gather all real fast. That'll secure us. We got 7 scrap, which is a big deal because that's more than enough to keep us secured. I think every time you buy fuel, it's like 2 or 3 scrap. So that's more than enough to keep us secured for a little while longer. That also leaves us inside this room, though. Maybe... Tweaky, you go out that way. And then we'll take a look right here. I'm going to gather what I can from that side. We will protect from becoming irradiated because I don't think that gamma rays will actually make us the Incredible Hulk. I think that it will more than likely just sort of, you know, cause mass mutations in our genome and all kinds of other problems. I'm not a biologist. Don't judge my terminology. It's particles going through you. That's not a good thing. In general, I try to limit the amount of invasive random things going inside my body. I've talked about this before, but there is a sharp drop-off on my meter of happiness as objects start to enter my body. I ran a regression on it, and I said to myself, how much do I like objects entering my body? And the regression really conclusively showed that around one object inside of me, I really start being unhappy and just sort of ruining life. I rue the day. I'm going to try and back them all in like an intelligent way so that we can actually like move and do things the way that I want. Tweaky's looking good. It appears as though like all of our shit is broken though, which is a little bit weird. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but all of our modules just broke in one mission. So I don't know if that's like a balancing thing, or I don't know how expensive it's going to be to repair it. Either if it's cheap to repair it, then I think we're probably good. However, let's go to A2, I guess. We're going to work from the corner that we already have locked down. But yeah, if each of these costs a lot to repair, we're going to have problems. Hopefully it's nice and cheap. I wasn't paying attention, though, the last time that I looked at that. Gatling gun is armed. Let's go A2 real fast. I actually should not kill anything inside of the door if I can help it. Let's go ahead and scan real fast. We've got a power inlet and what looks like not a whole lot else. I think we're probably good in here. So what I can do now is I can say remote R6. What if I say remote R3? Can I turn that off? Okay, remote R6. Apparently the syntax means that you gotta turn it off first, otherwise, a pox upon you. I'm not gonna bring out Cliff. I will bring Tommy, because I think he's gonna be our guy. And we are gonna work to the left, because we don't really have any other option. Let's go ahead and hit the motion scanner. D7's looking safe. Let me go ahead and get Gatling all ready to go. Just because the motion sensors don't show anything does not mean that we are safe. There's 7 scrap in here, really. We also have a door that is stuck open on the other side. I'm gonna secure it. And at the same time, let's get Tommy. And I just want him to gather everything. We need to find the fuel cell, though. If we can't find the fuel cells, it's going to be an issue. The fuel room is more than likely... Really? It just randomly broke? Interesting. Well, that sort of explains why modules are... D6 is no longer responding. I wonder if there's some kind of EM interference here. Let's go navigate all to R1 and just get up out of here real quick. I'm starting to feel nervous about this because stuff is just randomly breaking for no reason. I thought they meant that if you, like, didn't repair it before the next mission, it would break. But actually, it looks like it can both go faulty and break in the middle of a mission. I mean, we're already here, so we might as well finish this thing off. We've already taken the damage we're going to take. So, in my opinion, we're probably better off just kind of winging it for a little while and making it happen. Still, if we lose our Gatling gun, that is going to eliminate a lot of our tactical options. Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it right now! Shoot it right now! What is that? No! Drone 1, shoot it! Shoot it! Oh, kill it now. Exit! Exit! Okay, so apparently our Gatling gun is no longer functioning. It had the little exclamation points next to it, so I figured. That sucks, though, because we still didn't make it into the fuel chamber, which means that we're kind of hurting on J-Fuel right now. We could use a little bit more. Let's get back to the ship. I think we need to go to the mod bay and figure out what we can do here. So it looks like there is a bit of an RNG element here. So 7 scrap to repair the video signal. My God, that is brutal. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at our upgrades then. Wouldn't it be cheaper just to buy a new one? Like, buying a new one costs 3 scrap. Like, the only thing here that I would actually consider repairing, and I can't fix that, so the scanner's dead. So I figure I'll convert it into scrap. So let's just get our freebie right there. Yikes. That's a little bit rough. Not necessarily super bad, but bad. I mean, the motion scanner is not incredibly useful anyways, so I'll probably just scrap it and use my spare, because I have another one in here that's working. So, as long as if that one's working, then whatever. We can also repair the HP of the shield by 100. I would suggest that we do that. And from that point forward, I think we're doing okay. I've never seen something error out. I've seen them error out before, but I've never seen them error out and break all inside of the same mission, so that's a little bit troublesome. And that's a lot of scrap to spend repairing something. We may want to consider using explosive traps instead until we can afford to maybe... I can't afford to go to a trading post, so let's go ahead and take a look at the galaxy then. In here, we've got what looks like actually probably a really solid galaxy to go in, especially if we spawn in by E, because that means we have 2 trading posts and we can work our way through right here. 2 infestation types, 1 infestation type, military salvage, space stations. That sucks that we got bad luck on that other mission. That makes me bummed out. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other places too. I mean, we've got another place we could jump to from this side, which is the only thing that I would lean towards. This one looks like it's fairly concurrent, and I would suggest that we jump in next to the trading post if we were gonna. Although, I don't know if you control that. I don't know if you control where you actually jump into the system at. It might have you jump in at a preordained spot. And for example, if it makes you jump in up here, that means that you've got to make a choice now whether you want to do 4 Rex or 3 Rex in a trade post. So, there's a very, very real element in this game of kind of like picking and choosing your path. What do you have going on? I think I'm going to live life on the edge. Let's go to the right and just kind of see what happens. I bet it'll be okay. So, we're in system. That means we got to decide what we want to do over here. We only have 6 propulsion fuel. My suggestion would be that we hit these 2 wrecks right here. Hope that we find fuel along the way. If we do, that will allow us to stay in system a little bit longer and decide what we want to do with that new option. If we could find maybe 4 or 5 fuel on our way in, that'd be cool. Nonetheless, I think going there would probably give us the best option. But I'm going to break it off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Duskers. I like this game a lot. We may do multiple playthroughs. If I end up dying early and we don't get like 10 episodes out of it, I may go again. Just because like you learn so much each time it's like playing Dead Knots. You learn so much each time you play the game that it's like, well, maybe I'll play again. And then the next thing you know, it's 5 a.m. and you got to go to work in an hour and a half and you're like, good, I get to work at 10 after being up all night because I have addiction problems. Anyways, I will see you all later. Hi, do everybody. Check the game out down below if you wanted to get it.